Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Broncos versus 49ers NFL Week 3 Sunday Night Football matchup on Sunday, September 25th, 2022. Here on YouTube, I do tons of free pick videos, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. We do free picks every day, sportschatplace.com, pickdawgz.com, right here on YouTube, as well as across social media and our live shows. And when you give out that many free picks, you're bound to like some games more than others. And to find out which games those are, as well as to get best bets from some of the top handicappers in the world today, head on over to our website, pickdawgz.com, click on the Premium Picks tab. And while you're there, be sure to use the discount code WIN15, that's WIN15, get 15% off all of your purchases at sportschatplace.com and pickdawgz.com. But let's get to this one. We've got the Broncos taking on the 49ers. And the Broncos, 1-1 on the season. The 49ers, 1-1 on the season. And the thing about this Broncos team, oh man, they have not looked good in either of their games. They lost at Seattle on the opening Sunday night game of the season. And the thing about that game was, and the oddest part of it, it was Monday Night Football. And the oddest thing about that was that, well, the Broncos had every chance in the world to win that game, and crossing the goal line twice, they fumbled the ball. Seattle recovered it both times, and that was the difference in the game. Denver gets across the goal line, and either of those times, the way the score shook out in the end, well, they were the winners of that game. They did not let it happen. Meanwhile, for the San Francisco 49ers, winners in week 2 after losing in week 1. But the thing is that last week they lost their starting quarterback, Trey Lance. You kind of say, well, good thing they hung on to Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, we have to see if it is a good thing or if it's not a good thing. And yeah, they went on to win that game and all those things happened. But the reality of the situation was when the opposition game planned for that game, they sure as heck didn't game plan for Jimmy Garoppolo. They game planned for Trey Lance. So while Garoppolo has talent, it's not like some scrub that's coming in off the bench. It's a guy that actually started in a Super Bowl and a guy that's, been in the playoffs and a guy that's won a lot of games for the 49ers, but a guy that they also felt so confident in that they traded up in the NFL draft to get a guy to replace him from an FCS school. That's how much confidence they had in Garoppolo's ability to consistently win football games. And, we'll have to see whether he uses that as a chip on his shoulder saying, hey, you wanted to get rid of me. I wasn't good enough. Well, here it is. Or maybe he really isn't good enough, and we're going to find out all about that. But one thing we know, we have not seen the best of the Broncos and the 49ers. We're not really sure exactly what we're going to see. We know Samuel's super talented. We know they have a super talented defense as well. But the Garoppolo question mark is still there because it's still Jimmy G. Still the same guy that we've seen, and still the same guy that they had very little confidence in. In fact, so little confidence, they traded up in the NFL draft to get a guy to replace him. Now, Russell Wilson on the other side of this one for the Broncos has the game passed him by. Did the Seahawks know something? Is he shot? Is it any of these things? I'm not really sure. Is he just adjusting to the new offense? But we do know he's a better player than what we've seen from him in these previous 2 weeks. With Jerry Jeudy going out last week, that certainly didn't help matters. And, at the end of the game, in the second half of that one, it kind of looked like the Broncos were putting things together. Certainly the offense was clicking better than it had. And we saw in Seattle where the offense had clicked and moved the ball down there. Like I said, they just dropped the ball a few times. I don't know. I have very little faith in Jimmy G. Driving the stretch limousine there in San Francisco. I got way more faith in Russell Wilson at home at night in Denver. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos here, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks today, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. Our betting tools are 100% free, and the way they work, they show you just how often all the bets on the board today actually hit. Then they show you today's odds, and from there, you can assess the risk reward, putting yourself on the bets that come in the most often and pay the most. And that's how you make money betting on sports.